Hey everyone, welcome to Memorable Stories. I'm Sophie, and today's tale might just make you think twice about saying family first. The story, titled AITA for canceling on a family trip with my in-laws and deciding to cut ties with SIL, by electronic_ruin_7138, dives into the challenging dynamics of family life. Let's see how our storyteller navigates these turbulent waters. Remember, in-laws are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Now let's start today's story. Our storyteller begins, "This is long, I'm sorry. There are two reasons why I want to cut ties with my sister-in-law, SIL. Firstly, her jealousy. I've been married for a year and a half, and my SIL for 4 years. She met my brother-in-law, BL, when she was 19, and he was 26, he proposed a year later. My mother-in-law, MIL, was very much against the marriage because of how young my SIL was and how much older her son was. My SIL took it personally. Meanwhile, my husband is 2 years older than me, making us 26 and 28 right now. My MIL had no issue with our marriage, and because of that, my SIL felt like I was more preferred than her. My SIL didn't finish her studies, she stopped at high school and never worked. While I got my degree and am working. She thinks I am also the favorite because I finished my studies and have a career, and she doesn't. I don't believe either of us is being favored over the other. My SIL has been married for 4 years now, and my MIL got over her age and has been treating us equally, in my opinion. But even if that wasn't the case and my MIL is playing favorites, that is not my fault. Why do I have to pay for it? My SIL is always throwing words at me whenever she gets the chance. She says the opposite of what I say and tries to prove me wrong all the time. Even though I never claim to know better, sometimes it's a topic that I researched and I'm passionate about, unrelated to my studies. And she would tell me how wrong I am and how she looked it up on Facebook. Even the most random things. Like once, she mentioned a famous artist and called them gay. I said that artist is not gay. She told me to check the way they dress and act, and I told her just because someone dresses a certain way doesn't make them gay, unless they come out and say it themselves, and that said artist never came out. She would argue that there was an article online about them being gay and there are photos even. I know for a fact there's no such thing, so I just drop it and tell her maybe she's right. One time I made a spelling error, and as soon as I left the room, I heard her tell my MIL about it. My SIL has a 2.5-year-old son, while I'm struggling with infertility. My SIL makes every topic about her pregnancy, hospital stay, birth, son, etc. If I say I'm tired, she'd tell me, "You don't know what being really tired means until you have kids." With my son, I am blah blah blah. If I say I have no appetite, she'd make it about when she was pregnant and had no appetite. If I say my back hurts, she'd make it about how bad her back was when she was pregnant. It never ends. If it's not the pregnancy, then it's something else where she's the center of attention. At first, I was engaging in such conversations, but now I don't even listen. The second reason is her son. As I mentioned before, he is 2.5 years old and he is absolutely insufferable. When we have family gatherings, be it birthdays or BBQs or whatever, I help in the kitchen. I love baking and cooking, so I like to help. I love decorating the plates, making cute bites, decorating the tables, etc. My nephew is allowed to do everything. Everything. If he wants to pick all the tomatoes I just cut for the salad and eat them, then I should let him do so and go and cut new ones. If he wants the eggs I just boiled, then he can have them, and I will boil new ones. If he wants a piece of the cake I made for later, then I should cut the cake just for him and ruin the whole design before anyone could see it or enjoy it just for him to have a small bite and decide he doesn't want it anymore and throw it on the floor. All of that before we sit for lunch. He'd be full from all the snacking, but if he still wants something, even if everyone knows that he's full, and is probably going to give it a lick then step on it, you have to give it to him because he is just a child. If he wants all the cheese from your plate, then yep, give up your cheese. You can go and buy some if you want it. While he's a baby, he doesn't understand. If he says, I want pudding, it doesn't matter if he just ate the whole fridge. You're gonna have to go make him pudding because he is a baby and you can't let him crave something and not have it. He sits wherever he wants on the table. It doesn't matter if you've put work and effort into arranging the seats. And if he decides he wants your seat, then you have to get up and let him sit, or he won't stop crying. The last time we met, he picked up an empty 5-liter water bottle and proceeded to hit me with it for 5 minutes or so while my SIL and MIL kept watching. I told him to stop multiple times, and when he refused, I took the bottle from his hand, and he started screaming murder. Then my MIL told me to give it back, saying he's just a child and doesn't know what he's doing. When he's upset, he throws things around, grabs the phone and throws it, strawberries, plates, spills water and juice purposely. Always the same excuse, he is just a child, for him, it's playing. I am so done with him. He understands money and to ask for it, but not that hitting people is bad, throwing things is bad. I never yell at him because I know my MIL wouldn't like that, and my SIL would take the opportunity to paint me as the villain. He is the family's first grandchild, and my SIL often tells me that. I try not to say anything, to just get it over with, give him what he wants and leave because I won't be seeing him until the next gathering, which usually happens every month. But this time, I just don't. I don't want to put up with it anymore. I don't want to see my SIL or her son again. I've had enough. We had a trip planned with the whole family, our first trip together, and I canceled yesterday. I called my MIL and told her I won't be coming. I told my husband he's free to go if he wants, but I won't. I also told him I will be cutting my SIL off. I will stop going to the family gatherings. I would visit when she's not around. My husband says he understands why I'm upset, but I should be understanding of my SIL's feelings and be the bigger person. I don't want to be the bigger person. I want out. He says I shouldn't have canceled my going to the trip, that everyone was looking forward to it, and now I've ruined it because they would try to change the dates so I can go, and when I keep refusing, they would understand that something is wrong, and that would create tension in the family. He says I should just go with it and ignore my SIL's comments, that she doesn't mean them and she's just insecure. He says I should feel bad for her instead and try to help her. As for his nephew, he thinks it's ridiculous that I'm having issues with a 2-year-old and that he won't stay this way forever. He will grow up and do better. So, am I the asshole for having enough and wanting to cut them off? Before we jump into the jungle of opinions, remember, in family disputes, everyone's an expert. Let's see what our armchair psychologists have to say.